শোনো একটি মুজিবরের থেকে লক্ষ মুজিবরের কণ্ঠ, স্বরের ধ্বনি প্রতিধ্বনি আকাশে বাতাসে ওঠে রনি।
জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান এমন একটি নাম, যে নামটি আমাদের দেশের গৌরবের সাথে, ইতিহাসের সাথে, বাঙালির অস্তিত্ব আবেগের সাথে মিশে থাকা এক নাম, যিনি না থাকলে স্বাধীনতার লাল সূর্য অদেখাই রয়ে যেত, স্বাধীনতার স্বপ্ন অধরাই রয়ে যেত, যিনি অন্তরের সমস্তটুকু দিয়ে ভালোবেসেছেন বাংলার মানুষকে, বাংলার মাটিকে, নেতৃত্ব দিয়েছেন মুক্তি সংগ্রামের, বজ্রকণ্ঠে আহ্বান জানিয়েছেন তোমাদের যা কিছু আছে তাই নিয়ে শত্রুর মোকাবেলা করতে হবে। তুমি বাংলার ধ্রুবতারা, তুমি হৃদয়ের বাতিঘর, কিংবা যদি রাত পোহালে শোনা যেত বঙ্গবন্ধু মরে নাই। বঙ্গবন্ধুকে লেখা এই গানগুলো আমাদের মুখে মুখে ফেরে। আর এবার নির্মিত হলো বঙ্গবন্ধুর জীবনী সংক্রান্ত চলচ্চিত্র, শ্যাম বেনেগাল পরিচালিত, বাংলাদেশ এবং ভারত সরকারের যৌথ প্রযোজনায় নির্মিত মুজিব একটি জাতির রূপকার।
বাংলা আমাদের মাতৃভাষা নয়, বাংলা আমাদের মা।
But the new nation of Pakistan will have one national language, Urdu.
রাষ্ট্রভাষা বাংলা চাই, বাংলা চাই, বাংলা চাই।
আমি তোমাদের ঢাকা ফাঁকা কোথাও যেতে দিব না।
কাল বৈশাখী ঝড়, কীর্তিন আসা বন্যা আর খেপা বিপ্লবীরে কেউ থামাতে পারে না।
Give us ammunition, give us rations, and then you will see for yourselves that given a chance how the Bengali will fight. চাওয়াল খাতা है।
একটা পুতুল ঘর দিলাম।
ধানমন্ডি
মানতে হবে যে আমাদের প্রজাতন্ত্রের দুইটা আলাদা প্রদেশ হতে হবে, পশ্চিম পাকিস্তান আর পূর্ব বাংলা। রক্ত যখন দিয়েছি, রক্ত আরো দেব, এদেশের মানুষকে মুক্ত করে ছাড়বো ইনশাআল্লাহ।
সম্প্রতি মুক্তি পেয়েছে এই সিনেমাটি। ইতোমধ্যে আমরা দেখছি অনেক দর্শক এই সিনেমাটি দেখে আবেগতাড়িত হচ্ছেন, কান্নায় ভেঙে পড়ছেন, কিংবা বঙ্গবন্ধুকে নিয়ে অনেক অজানা তথ্য জেনে নিজেরা বিমোহিত হচ্ছেন, বিস্মিত হচ্ছেন। এটি একটি পরম পাওয়া। আমাদের জাতির জন্য এই সিনেমাটি একটি অবিস্মরণীয় ইতিহাস হয়ে থাকবে। আমরা আজ ভারত থেকে আগত কিছু অতিথিবর্গের সাথে এই স্টুডিওতে উপস্থিত হয়েছি। আমি পরিচয় করিয়ে দিচ্ছি তাদের সাথে, তাদের অভিজ্ঞতা অনুভূতি শুনব এই সিনেমার প্রিমিয়ারকে কেন্দ্র করে, এবং এই সিনেমাটি সম্পর্কে তাদের অভিমত আমরা শুনব। আমাদের সাথে আছেন দীপিকা পোখরানা, ডেপুটি ডিরেক্টর জেনারেল, ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ টেলিকম, গভর্নমেন্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়া। আমাদের সাথে আছেন প্রফেসর Dr.Angshu, ডিন, কলেজ অফ কমিউনিটি সায়েন্স, এগ্রিকালচার ইউনিভার্সিটি, এলাহাবাদ। আমাদের সাথে আছেন Dr.Anjali Tiwari, ডিরেক্টর, ল্যাব সায়েন্সেস, আ গ্রুপ অফ হসপিটালস অ্যান্ড প্যাথোলজিস্ট ইন কানপুর, ইন্ডিয়া। আমাদের সাথে আছেন আরেকজন বিশিষ্ট অতিথি, Dr.Alok Bajpaie, psychiatrist, and he conducts an interactive program, An Hour with the Mahatma. আমরা আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানে। ওয়েলকাম ইউ অল। সো দীপিকা জি, হাউ ওয়াজ দ্য প্রিমিয়ার? হাউ ডু ইউ লাইক ইট?
Actually, we were so excited about the premiere because our friend who has written the film, Mujib, the Ek to Jatir Roopkar,
okay.
And we had heard so much about Bangladesh and the people here and the making of this film. So we thought, let's go for the premiere and see and celebrate it ourselves. And it was a great occasion, meeting all the actors and the cast and Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Okay.
It was a great pleasure and honor for us.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Angshu ji, have you already visited the cinema halls? Yes, you must have visited the cinema hall. What's your feeling about it?
Well, to start with, it's a matter of great pride and pleasure and honor for the entire family along with the nation, I would say. because this film for us is not just a film. This is a great tribute to the father of the nation of Bangladesh, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ji. We grew up listening about his revolutionary struggle and then bringing independence to the nation, and how he fought for his mother tongue and for the motherland.
Definitely.
And then this kind of freedom that he brought in the nation, and how he constructed the whole family. So nothing better than this is possible for a family member to be witnessing, that culminating into the film and watching it on the big screen. It was a very, very emotional feeling for all of us to be there with the Honorable Prime Minister herself, and then the whole crew, along with my brother, the whole crew of the film was there. And then being, sitting on the same platform and watching that film at that very moment was a mixture of pride, pleasure, being very emotional, and absolute honor.
Madam Anjali Di, the writer of that film, Atul Tiwari ji, is your brother, and it's a matter of great honor that we got his family and friends with us. Can you please share your experience while he was writing the story, and how did you feel that time?
Atul is my elder brother.
Yes.
And whenever he works on any script, usually we do discuss and we do share our views on various aspects of the film. And so was the case this time in this film also. But before I tell anything about that journey, I would like to tell you that perhaps this is the first war of independence which we remember as a child. He was I think about 10, 11 years, 12 years old, and I was 8 years, and I clearly remember the war of 1971. And we have had various experiences, like blackouts in India, and then the sorties happening at night, and some sort of fear, and lots of movement of people from Bangladesh to India. But as a child also, we always respected this country, that how brave they are and how well they are fighting this battle of independence. And I remember that when Bangladesh got independence, there was some sort of celebration in India as well. As a child, I remember that much. So when my brother started working on this, we definitely as a family got a chance to know much more about whatever little we knew of this revolution. And as our families are quite, we come from a family of freedom fighters.
Oh,
so
that's a
my
great
father
thing.
was a freedom fighter, my grandfather was a freedom fighter. So we've always grew up listening to various stories of freedom struggle and how they used to suffer and all. So when my brother was interviewing the family of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ji, we found quite a few similarities between the families. So definitely, although I listened everything through my brother, but a different kind of connect we felt, not only with the country, with the family, but with the land of Bangladesh, because it's such a matter of pride that a country fighting for freedom or doing a revolution for the sake of language, where Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ji said that this is not only my mother tongue, but it is my mother. So Bangla is my mother. So I think this is something which we have never seen earlier, and I don't know whether we'll ever see it again, that the whole of the country, standing and fighting for their mother tongue. So this is something really great, and we respect all the citizens of Bangladesh for being so courageous.
Yes, we sacrificed ourselves for our language, for our freedom. আমরা চলে যাচ্ছি Mr. Alok Bajpaieর কাছে. Can you please share your feeling?
Yeah, one is that I'm a great fan of the director Shyam Benegal, who has made this film, and Atul is my relative and very close to heart. Because he was working, so we grabbed on this chance to visit Bangladesh and also attend the premiere. After all, it's a Shyam Benegal movie on somebody who fought for the language to create a country, as Anjali, Anshu and Dipika ji have said. But more than that, beyond the film, it's also the part of the history of our conscious and unconscious mind, which was 71.
Yes.
So, we live in a North Indian city and we were more into the western front of India, which was fighting a war with Pakistan at that time. But on the background of it was all that was happening at the eastern front. And as I grew up and I started teaching Mahatma Gandhi, looking at his transformative skills. So, one important part of his life was Calcutta, just before he came to Noakhali. And Bangabandhu was there when he was not Bangabandhu, when he was Mujib with Suharawardi Sahab. He did not agree to Gandhi's idea. Probably it took some time to subscribe to them. Gandhi was complex. So, that part of history, Gandhi of course is there in my subconscious, in the subconscious of the country. Plus, so that was one part of the history. And the second, I mean, see the whole process of a man who goes on to stick to what he believed in.
Yes.
Right, and the country follows him. This happened in the last century twice. One was Gandhi and one was
Bangabandhu.
I mean, that is a huge thing to happen.
তাদের দৃঢ়তাটাই আমাদেরকে টেনে নিয়ে গেছে স্বাধীনতা সংগ্রামের দিকে. They were so determined.
Absolutely.
They were so confident about.
Yeah, and they did not sacrifice their belief systems and ideology. So that is something for our generation to learn.
আমাদের সাথে যে বিশিষ্ট অতিথিবৃন্দ আছেন তারা বাংলাদেশে প্রথমবারের মতো এসেছেন এবং তাদের আবেগ অনুভূতি আমাদের সাথে ভাগ করে নিচ্ছেন। মুক্তিযুদ্ধ নিয়েও তাদের নানান রকম অনুভূতি আছে, অব্যক্ত কথা আছে। আমরা আরও কিছু শুনবো তাদের কাছ থেকে। দীপিকা দিদি, আপনার কাছে আসি। All of you are visiting for the very first time in Bangladesh. So what's your perspective regarding Bangladesh previously, and what do you think right now about our country and our country people?
Like sitting from and seeing Bangladesh from India, we always thought like it's a small country, but when I was in my college days, we had few students from the Bangladesh and we heard a lot from them, and we always thought, and we
India is really a vast country. Bangladesh
but
is
we
really
had a
small.
lot of appreciation and respect for the Bangladesh and its people, for the spirit with which they fought against the atrocities done over on them, and the way they saved their culture and their language and stood up as a nation. So we always had a great appreciation, as we have a part of Bengal in India also, and we had a lot of interaction with them, and we love the Bengali culture, Bengali food. We had that perception in the mind, but when we came here and we really felt that the people what we thought are similar here, we like them very much, and we saw that in the last 50 years, because it's a new nation made only in the last 50 years, you people have progressed a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously Bangladesh will rise a lot.
And what do you think about your Chattogram Television Center? How do you feel after coming here?
Yeah, I was interacting with your director and came to know a lot about that. You have a 38 channels working here, and so many other private. So you have grown a lot in this, and your this television center is also of the world-class facilities.
Thank you, Dipika ji. Angshu ji, would you like to add something here?
Of course, yes. I mean, I knew of Bangladesh. Sitting in India, how do we, or sitting anywhere, how do we know about a country? Is through media or through books or through literature or through people who have been there. So this is how I knew of Bangladesh. But coming here is like knowing Bangladesh. So what picture is created, was created in my mind, I would not say is the same. It definitely was little different than what I see coming here. Being in Dhaka, what I saw was, especially the newer Dhaka, we can see a lot of development coming up. I mean, be it the infrastructure, we see the bridges coming up, the roads, the buildings and all, because this is an indicator of the development of a country. Of course, the old Dhaka shows that how the Dhaka has been, and I think it still has that traces of how Dhaka was. So seeing the old Dhaka was also, for me, it was a great pleasure, because it absolutely matched with what picture I had in my mind of Dhaka. And the way you have kept your historical monuments, the way you're maintaining them, because we went to places which speak of your history. So we went there also, visited them and got to know a lot than what I knew. So it definitely has added to my information about Dhaka. Yes, of course, the textile, because it is one of the most important things about your nation, which reaches to every single part of the world, and people know about Bangladesh through its textiles also.
It's a very prominent sector.
Yes, yes, it does. So, I mean, coming here, we also see that how the market has grown. And there is so much available in the market. But seeing everything physically with our own eyes and see the development in your country, and you know, knowing your Prime Minister, Madam Sheikh, and meeting her, the way she, with the kind of warmth, and that's a confidence, you know.
Yes, she's very confident.
The way she would meet with people, greet people, talk to them, and connect with them. Yeah,
got very
so
strong
that leadership that you know, Madam has, with the combination of such a femininity and beautiful face and
femininity and the strength.
Yeah, that strength in her eyes.
Beautifully combined.
And a Prime Minister reaching to people and standing so close with them speaks so volumes about her confidence in herself and her, you know, people. And I am sure this country has a great future with this kind of leadership.
জাতির পিতার আসলে যোগ্য উত্তরসূরির হাতে আমাদের দেশটি পরিচালিত হচ্ছে, এবং আংশু দিদি আমাদের এমনভাবে বললেন যে এত আত্মবিশ্বাসের সাথে আমাদের জননেত্রী আসলে আমাদের দেশকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাচ্ছেন, আমাদের সাথে যাদের কাছেই তিনি আসছেন তার ব্যক্তিত্বে তিনি মুগ্ধ করছেন। এই বিষয়গুলো যখন আমরা আমাদের দেশের বাইরের কারো কাছ থেকে শুনি, এটি আমাদের জন্য অবশ্যই গর্বের একটি বিষয়। আমরা এখন আরেকটু কথা বলবো ডক্টর অঞ্জলি এবং আমাদের সাথে ডক্টর আলোক আছেন তার সাথে। এই যে আমি কথা বলতে চাইছি যে আমাদের মেডিকেল সেক্টরটি নিয়ে, আপনারা দুজনেই ডক্টর, কেমন ডেভেলপমেন্ট হয়েছে আমাদের দেশে আপনারা মনে করেন?
Basically, both the countries have good relations, and we keep interacting amongst ourselves, you know, like the various conferences are being organized in India and Bangladesh as well. And so many times doctors from India come to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh doctors, they go to India, and we can say that it's a kind of journey hands in hand, you know, like together we are trying to grow, because that is also a developing country. And exactly, I mean, the number of hospitals and number of institutes which we got to see in Dhaka, I mean, it's not very easy to find so many number of hospitals and institute in any country. And definitely, see, we got independence 75 years back, and yours is much less, you know, like not even 50. So definitely, you know, like in 50 years, and there would be a difference in 75 and 50 years, but here you find almost all the facilities. And I had an opportunity to meet our Honorable Prime Minister earlier in Delhi, and there also we had a lot of discussion about these medical things, and her concern about you know, medical facilities reaching to remote places and villages was, I mean, undoubtedly, you know, very sincere, and she is trying to work towards that. and especially, you know, her effort in making women empowered, whether it is in any sector, and as we know that especially in medical sector, most of the nursing part is
Yes.
taken care of by females. So her women empowerment and taking special interest in, you know, bringing facilities to remote places
Remote areas,
and
yes.
and rural areas.
Rural areas.
So that definitely is seen, and I know that it will have good future.
And would you like to suggest something more for more development in our country?
No, sir, definitely when I mean the Prime Minister herself is taking interest, so I mean any suggestion from outside would not be you know, good, but I can only say one thing, that as a country and individually also, I mean we would love to be a part of this journey if in any
that's a
way we
great
can
thing.
contribute to Bangladesh.
Sir, how do you?
We should understand that genetically we are the same people. So Dhaka may be a mirror image of a Kolkata, or Kolkata may be a mirror image of Dhaka. And you wanted the gist of it all. Anjali has already said it.
Yes.
Bangladesh should not bother about the gap which Anjali has just mentioned. We got independence in 47, you got in 71.
Yeah, 71.
And the growth which Bangladesh has seen, because I know, because a lot of my friends who are psychiatrists in this institute called NIMHANS in India, which is one of the premier institutes in Asia, they keep coming. There is a lot of support through academics, and why I am saying we should not worry, because a lot of medical fields, especially something like mental health and psychiatry,
Yes.
that itself is undergoing a lot of transition. Even the medicine is undergoing transition, because 20 years hence the medicine will not be the same. A lot of genetics would have come in, a lot of neurosciences would have come in, AI would have come in. So if Bangladesh has just missed that 20-year period, it can still catch up, because when it comes to technology and the new things, you are at a fair ground, you can always catch up. And then you have such a communication open with India that in fact I met a couple of people whose kids were having autism. So I inquired about what training, maybe the training is not so exhaustive, maybe you do not have those many trained people, but trust me, if you go to India, leave the big cities, you will struggle, you will have the same struggle in most of the towns. What has happened in India, and it should happen here also, that a lot of this physical training of psychology and with kids and all has been replaced by online thing.
What do you tell about that mental health problem?
Yes.
This problem is increasing day by day because people are very stressed.
Yeah, I would say that see, if you look at mental illnesses,
Yes.
the percentage of people who are actually mentally ill with biological illnesses is the same all across the world.
Okay.
You go to Bangladesh, you come to India, you go to UK, to US, to Ethiopia, to Russia. So people with schizophrenia, OCD, bipolar illness, and all that zing bang of biological illnesses, and all across the world. The rest of the 85% people are those people who are struggling with problems of life. When it crosses the threshold, then it becomes an illness. But what is happening, and I am sure it is happening in Bangladesh too, because it is happening in India, so there is no reason why it is not happening, which is not a good thing. The not so good thing is, when people come to psychiatrists or to physicians or to other people with problems of life, doctors often jump on to label it.
Okay. All right.
And prescribe medicines, because pharmaceuticals obviously and medicines are the mainstay of it. So we prescribe it. Now whether the labeling does good or bad, often it does bad, because people start thinking that they don't have any power over it and all that. There comes in all this psychological training, and when I say psychological, even Bang Bandhu's life is a psychological treatment for people. if you can use it. We use Gandhi, Krishna, Buddha, everybody to teach.
Yes.
I use it in my practice. You don't have to follow them, you don't have to become like them. You can always pick up nodes which you can incorporate in your cognitive process, and then you want to work it out and try. So, in the exchange between India and Bangladesh, we are always ready to come and help people. There is no problem. A lot of our friends are, a drop of the hat, we will come and train people.
That's great to
So,
hear.
Bangladesh, if they have adequate training, they have to assess it. We can't tell. If they can assess they have adequate training, fine. If they don't, they should open a channel from India for further training of psychologists, of psychiatrists and mental health professionals. And as and when technology comes in, it will be available to everybody.
খুব প্রাণবন্ত আলোচনার মধ্য দিয়ে সবখানেই যেন আশার বাণী পেলাম, যে সবসময় সাহায্যের হাত আছে। আমরা তাদেরকে যেমন সাহায্যের হাত বাড়িয়ে দিচ্ছি, তারাও আমাদের জন্য এগিয়ে আসবেন। এমনই ভ্রাতৃত্ব সম্প্রীতির বন্ধনে যুক্ত থাকুক সম্পর্কগুলো, দুই দেশের সম্পর্ক, পুরো বিশ্বেই শান্তি বিরাজ করুক। আমাদের এই যে মুজিব, একটি জাতির রূপকার, এই চলচ্চিত্রের মধ্য দিয়ে আমরা এই বিশিষ্ট মানুষগুলোকে পেলাম, এই গুণী মানুষগুলোকে পেলাম। আমি আরেকটু জানতে চাইবো যে এখন সিনেমা হলে সবাই যাচ্ছে, সো এটি খুব পজিটিভ একটা ব্যাপার, নিশ্চয়ই এটি খুব পজিটিভ একটি ব্যাপার। আপনারা এটি কীভাবে দেখছেন যে সিনেমা হলে they are going to cinema hall, they are watching movie, and it's like a festival. So you most often you experience it in your country, but how do you feel when you experience it in our country? So
Actually,
it was a great pleasure being with the audience of Bangladesh, and I know when they were reacting, to observe their reaction apart from watching the film, and it gave us a different kind of experience altogether.
এই যে ব্যস্ততার জগতে আমাদের দেশপ্রেমকে জাগ্রত করে দেওয়ার জন্য এই চলচ্চিত্রটি খুব বিরাট ভূমিকা পালন করবে। আমরা আশা করি আজকের এই আলোচনা আপনাদের ভালো লেগেছে। আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য ধন্যবাদ। আপনাদেরকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি, কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাচ্ছি ব্যস্ততার মধ্য থেকে আমাদেরকে সময় দিয়েছেন বলে। ইটস অ্যান গ্রেট অনার টু হ্যাভ ইউ অল উইথ আস।
our
Thank
honor
you.
too. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you very much. Shashma.
আমরা শেষ করছি আমাদের আয়োজন। সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, শুভেচ্ছা রইল।
শোনো একটি মুজিবরের থেকে লক্ষ মুজিবরের কণ্ঠ, স্বরের ধ্বনি প্রতিধ্বনি আকাশে বাতাসে ওঠে রনি। বাংলাদেশ আমার বাংলাদেশ, বাংলাদেশ আমার বাংলাদেশ।